You're excited to start photographing and listing, but when it actually comes time to doing it, you may find yourself overthinking lighting, backgrounds, and where to even take the photo, not knowing how detailed the titles and description need to be, second guessing every time you hit publish. You're not wrong for thinking these things, and you're not alone. In this video, I show you a simple way to photo and list items so you can stop overthinking it and list faster. So what actually matters when taking photos? Having a clear, well-lit photo is better and matters more than having a perfect photo. Buyers want to clearly see what they're buying.
I'm in control here, and you're gonna give me what I want.
It doesn't need to be studio quality. They just need to know what they're getting, and what they're buying is what they're gonna receive in the mail. So this means showing the item honestly, showing the front of it, the back of it, specific details, any flaws that it may have. And in order to do this, you don't need a fancy camera, a fancy studio setup, or even the perfect backdrop. If the buyer is scrolling through Poshmark and they see your photo and it's clear and they know exactly what the item is, well, the photo's done its job. Remember, there's no magic number that you need to upload. Poshmark gives you 10 plus slots to upload photos. As long as you provide all the photos and angles and details so the buyer knows what they're getting, that's what you need to do. Enough photos that represent the item.
You know something? You're right.
Now, when it comes to listing the item, titles don't need to be clever. They just need to be searchable. Remember, you're not trying to be creative or come up with this whole new title. You just need the item to be found. Now, if you're curious about title structure, I made this video right here that talks about title structure in it. As for the description, it doesn't need to be an essay. There doesn't need to be any fluffy or filler words. Just clearly describe what the item is. Ultimately, you just want to answer basic buyer questions.
What do you want?
Think about yourself as a buyer. What would you want to know about an item when you're buying it? You want to know the size? You want to know the condition of the item? You want to know the color? Maybe the material? Maybe does the item have pockets? Is it stretchy? Is it oversized or fitted? Is it see-through? Is it cropped? Is it new with tags? Measurements do help since sizes vary. Just put yourself into the buyer's shoes. So pretend you're buying something and what you want to know about the item, that's what you want to list and answer when you upload your listings. All right, so let's talk about a simple photo and listing workflow that you can easily implement and start listing items faster. So first, grab your phone. If you don't want to do it on your phone, you can always do it on your desktop when you want to upload the item. But the quickest way to do it is grab your phone, open the Poshmark app. You'll already have your photo station ready where you're photographing your item, and start taking your photos of the item. The front, the back, the tags, extra details, everything that we discussed earlier. Once your photos are done, you'll just fill in the basic information. You'll fill in the titles, the description. Poshmark has built-in fields as well, like category, sizes, condition, brand, color, style tags. Most of them are mandatory. Style tags are not, but I would suggest putting them in there. And lastly, add your price. Now, if pricing is something that you're wondering about and how to price items, the next video I'm uploading is about how to price your items. Then when that's all done, list the item. And after that, you don't have to do anything else. Of course, you can always go back through and edit the listing, add more details, change the prices. So nothing is set in stone. You can even delete the listing if you need to.
Are you serious?
So don't overthink it, just get your listings up. Now, if you've already listed before, what takes you longer? Photographs or listing? And if you've never listed before, what are you most nervous about, photographing or listing? Share in the comments below. Now you might be wondering, what will actually help you get faster with photographing and listing over time? One of the first things is having a repeatable photo routine. This means photograph the same way you take photos every time. So if you choose to do it on the floor, if you choose to do it on a wall hanging, outside in the grass or on the pavement, on a blanket or some backdrop, that is your choice. But make it consistent and easy for you. So when you grab the item, all you have to do is snap, snap, snap photo, and then you can start listing. If you have to set everything up every single time, it's really hard for you to get consistent and be quick at it. And because you're doing this part-time, you do not need a fancy photo setup. If you want one and you have the space, go for it. But if you don't have the space, a simple hardwood floor works just fine. Next, this kind of goes hand in hand with the photo routine. Basically, having the same steps in the same order. So this way, it keeps it simple for your brain, so you're not bouncing back and forth and all over the place. This way you get everything done at once and then move on to the next. For example, let's say you have 3 items from your closet that you want to photograph. What you would do is you would take all 3 items and you would photograph all 3 items at once. And you can save the drafts within the Poshmark app. So you can always go back and continue the listing later on your phone or on your desktop. So then once you do all the photographs, then you would go back and then do your listings. This way you're not doing, let me photograph, oh, let me sit down and do the listing, oh, let me photograph and then sit down and do the listing, and then back and forth and back and forth. The next way you get faster is keep listing simple. Don't overthink it.
I should just stop overthinking it.
You really don't need to spend too much time uploading the listing because the color is right there, the size is right there, the material is right there. You can quickly enter that information and do a brief description about how stretchy the item is, if it has pockets, if it has a special detail. You don't need to be all descriptive or write a novel about it. And lastly, don't make every listing perfect. Perfection is crippling. And I know this because that was me. And honestly, sometimes I still do that, even though I know it is not good. Once I'm like, oh, I'm being in perfectionist mode, rewind, doesn't need to be perfect. If you're someone who struggles with this too, share in the comments below so we know we're not alone. All right, so what should you focus on right now? In this video, you learned the foundation. You didn't learn any advanced stuff. This will come on later down the road.
Oh, thank God.
Once you feel more comfortable just photographing and listing, and it's not something that you have to overthink about or takes you an hour to do, then you'll start learning more ways to save time. Right now, the goal is to build confidence and consistency, not perfection, with your photographs and listings. Now, I want you to keep in mind, your first few photographs are not even going to look close to what your 20th, 50th, 100th listing is going to look like. I know this because that was mine too. The first time I started listing on Poshmark, I took forever taking the first photo. I was so nervous. I did so much research on it. I didn't want to get in trouble for posting something that wasn't right.
I truly overthought it way too much.
And I needed someone to tell me just to get the thing up there and not overthink it. And also to remember that every time you start photographing and listing an item, you're going to get better and faster at it. As with anything that you do, the first time you start doing anything, it's always uncomfortable, awkward. Takes a really long time to do it, but the more you do it, the more comfortable it gets, and the more it kind of becomes of a habit, and you don't really have to think about what you're doing next. Kind of like driving a car. If you had to think about everything you were doing when driving a car, it just wouldn't go, it wouldn't go very well. But it became a habit of driving, so you didn't really have to think about everything that you do when you're driving. So right now in this moment, just focus on getting listings up. Take your photos, list item. Take your photos, list item. If you would like a full step-by-step tutorial on my photo process and my listing process where you can visually see me do it, let me know in the comments below and just comment tutorial and let me know which one you'd like to see first, the photographing process or the listing process or both. When I first started on Poshmark and I discovered this app, I was like, oh, can I really sell my things from my closet and make money from it? I was so intrigued by it because I had things I wanted to sell, I wanted to get rid of, and I would always just donate them. And two, we were looking to make extra money. And so when I went and I got a couple things from my closet, the first thing I ever listed was this like blue and gray striped, I think it was Michael Kors shirt. I think it was new with tag still. And I listed it, I took the photos, and before I even got the listing up, I kid you not, it took me 3 days just to get the first listing up because I did all the research on what I can post. I did the research on how to take the photos, the description that needed to go into it, filling out all the details. I overthought it way too much to get my first listing up. And I got that first listing up, and I just posted, I think one, maybe I had 2 up. And then I kind of just put it away for a week or two because I was like, okay, this is taking forever. It's not selling. In reality, if you list one item, how fast is it going to sell? I didn't even have my profile information and stuff filled out. So I didn't look like I was active on the profile, which I truly wasn't. And I ended up making the sale and didn't know I made the sale because I didn't have the notification pop on my phone. And when I logged on, I was like, oh my gosh, I got a sale. And then it was like, oh my gosh, it was past 7 days and I didn't ship it. So I missed out on that. And that shows me, one, the moment that happened, I said, oh my gosh, I can make money doing this. This works. So in the end, that item did sell. I think it sold to a different buyer. That was back in 2019. So I don't remember the story quite as clear. But ultimately, the moral of the story is don't take as long as I did. You don't need 3 days to put up one listing. You need maybe 30 minutes. But the more you do it, the faster you go. Photographing, when I first started, oh man, to take one item, that took me like 30 minutes to take a photo. Don't ask me why it took me so long, but it did. And then listing also took a very long time, probably similar to that, because I was trying to write novels about wearing this out to dinner or how fancy it was or how it'll make you feel. And it's like, no, the buyer really doesn't care about that. They want to know what the item is. So get your listings up.